Hey, good evening. This is Brandy Rude, demonstrators, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you from Strawberry Plains, Tennessee, in my little craft cave down here. And just wanted to get on here because last night I was on grand duty with my little granddaughter, and so I was not able to do Facebook Live. So wanted to get on here and have our Facebook Live for the week. So I see somebody has joined in. Hey, Leanne, how you doing? Y'all let me know that you're watching. Leave some comments. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching this on replay, make sure you let me know that you've caught it on replay and where you're watching from. I have some new products to show you that I just got in a little while ago. So that's exciting. And then we've got some cards to make. Of course, we're going to make cards. We're going to make some very simple, but very beautiful cards. I love the fact that with our, I'm over here trying to open up some things. So, hey, Becky from Missouri, good to see you. Glad you're on here. I love that with our products, you can keep things simple and it still be beautiful. So, so that's what we're going to do tonight. And so I'm just opening. So I got some, if you haven't seen in the mini catalog, and let me pull it out because I don't want to call it the wrong thing. Where is it? It's the Crane, I think Crane of Fortune. Oh, Becky, you're so lucky you've got snow. We live in the Tennessee Valley, in just outside of Knoxville. And like, you have to cross your fingers, wear your shirts inside out, do the snow dance, all the stuff just to get a few flakes of snow, because we sit down in the valley, and so if all of the elements don't work just so, we don't get snow. Everybody gets snow around us and not us. So I love it. If it's going to be cold, I want it to snow. I don't want any of this just being cold all the time. But anyway, so this is the suite that I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Symbols of Fortune. I know, it is totally lame. But this is the Symbols of Fortune that I was talking about. The Crane of Fortune bundle is the stamp set and dies. But man, it is gorgeous. I was debating on whether or not to get it. But I'm telling you what, this we have some paper that's called Mother of Pearl, and Mother of Pearl, it is beautiful. It's kind of, it kind of looks holographic to me. I don't know if you, oh yeah, you can see it. Oh gosh, look at that. And so it's not like the glimmer paper where you've got the texture of the glitter that's in there. It's just, oh my goodness. So that shows up pretty well, actually. It is gorgeous. So this is part of that suite. That's the Mother of Pearl specialty paper, 12 by 12. And then this is the Designer Series paper. And I'm sure it's going to be, and it's specialty paper as well. So one side of this paper has foil, has gold foil on it. And so I will just kind of hold up the two papers so you can see that those foil accents there. So that's one. Let's see here. Oh, these are pretty. The cranes are beautiful. Oh, there you go. Look at the gold out front. See that? So those are beautiful. And this paper, it's a little bit, just a tad bit thicker than our regular Designer Series paper. And so you can see that gold. Yeah, Becky, it is absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you know, there's not much that Stampin' Up! Puts out that is not gorgeous. I love these flowers. And this paper is really pretty too. Now, if you've been on here a while, you know that green is, I'm not a huge green person. But this with the gold, I think, is a good way to kind of break up a lot of that green. But it's beautiful. So there's that. And there's one more. Ooh, this is pretty. This is really pretty neutral. Just with, it looks like, I'm assuming bamboo. And then here's the other side of it. So you can make some really beautiful, I call them quick flip cards. That's what I've always called them. So you cut your piece of designer series paper to a card front size, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I usually just kind of eyeball it. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. About 1.5 inches. And then you leave one piece and then you flip the other one. And so you use the same paper, coordinating paper, but it just gives you a quick way to give a little contrast. So very pretty. So also in that, let me see, I think I put it away. No, I didn't. Also in that suite is this beautiful, I am a sucker for ribbon and embellishments and all that stuff. It's this beautiful satin ribbon. So let me see if I can get into this. You know how it goes. Okay, so I can't get my chair height right. It's driving me crazy. I'm a teacher, and we have been doing virtual learning all week. And so my craft room has become my classroom. And so I have been sitting in this chair and all week, and it's just driving me crazy. And I couldn't get it right, so I had to have a different height for that. And so now I've just got everything messed up. Okay, here is this satin ribbon. So it is soft succulent. It is a 1/2 inch wide, and it is, I mean, it's a really pretty, it's a really good quality ribbon. So that is also in the Symbols of Fortune suite. And then I'll show you, here is the crane stamp set. Now, if y'all don't know me, I'm a dragonfly fan, and so these little dragonflies in here, I just love those. And then in the bundle, I think I did not bring the dies over here. Hang on a second. So in the bundle, I'm going to turn the camera down in just a second so you can look at the bundle, but Good Fortune, there it is. Okay. All right, let me turn the camera down here just real quick. And see, I just did that real fast, so we just got it out of the way. All that moving around and whatnot. Let me move the camera closer to me so I can hopefully see your comments. There we go. Okay, so one of the cool things about this die and this stamp set, get that over there, toss that out, is that when you stamp that little dragonfly, so there's 2 dragonflies on there, this die cuts them both out at the same time. Hey, Holly Patterson, it's good to see you on here. So anyway, so I think that's pretty cool that it does that. So I just got this today, actually just a couple hours ago. So I have not had time to play with it. So I will play with this week and come back next week with some samples for you and probably a project or 2. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is the Here Together stamp set and bundle, and this whole little set is so cool. So I just love this stamp set. First of all, this stamp you could turn and do it like that, so it kind of looks like you're holding hands this way. But I just love this. I love the fonts in here. I love the sentiments of it. And then this is the All Together Designer Series paper, and it is all black and white. And let me just show you. So you know when it's black and white, that means it is just primed for coloring. So I'll show you the designs. We'll just run through it really quickly if we can, if you don't mind. But I think it helps you to know what's coming, so that if you decide to buy it, then you've got a good idea. So, whew, got a little optical illusion goes on here. My friend Brenda did her live the other night, and she showed this, and it was giving me a headache looking at that. But the great thing about these papers, now I think I used the blending brushes last week, so this paper is really great to use the blending brushes. I love this one too. to add color using those blending brushes. It's a quick and easy way to add color. And then these, you could cut these out. I'm not sure. They do have dies, and so we'll look and see if the dies coordinate with any of those images. And this is a big pack of paper. You get 48 sheets of paper, so that's a good deal. And there we go. So we're just buzzing through it here. These look like dots, but they're little hearts. In case you can't see these here, they're hearts. And then the stripe. There we go. And then the last one is, here we go. So there it is. I love I love black as an accent for cards. We're going to do that tonight with the cards that we're going to make. But this paper is just a little bit thicker also than our regular Designer Series paper, because with this set, we also have these new Stampin' Blends markers, and these are our skin tone markers, which are long overdue. And these are great. So you could take these colors, and by mixing them any which way, you could come up with lots and lots of different skin tones. And I have seen some really beautiful cards. Now they're labeled, this is, let me see here, they're medium. So this color is medium, and there's 2 of them. And then there is deep. I think these are deep. Oh, these just have numbers on them. Okay. The wrapper had a little bit of a name on it. This is light. And so since they're skin tones, they are not colors that are specifically coordinated to our cardstock. And so that's why, I'm assuming that's why, there are no color names to them, because we don't have, sorry for all the paper crinkling. I'm sure that's probably driving y'all crazy. I apologize. Last set. But that's why they're numbered instead of colored or named. So you can see the variety of skin tones that you could get with this, especially by blending them. So very beautiful. So this is a great set. It does come with these, where did I put the dies? I had the dies over here. Oh, yep, these are it. So the dies cut out this hand shape, and then you have these great big word dies. And this says, "You matter." Sorry, Susie, sorry about all the noise. I know that's probably terrible. And then this one says, "Here for you." So those are very cool. I love these dies. And there's this little heart will cut out as well. So this is a great new set. This is available until May, I think it's May 3rd. Now these blends and the stamp set, this is important to note, the blends and the stamp set will be carrying over to the new catalog that starts in May. All right, but the paper and the dies are while supplies last. Okay, so if you love this and you want to get this, you need to jump on it, because these are while supplies last. And it has been very, very popular. So make sure that you get on that. Now also, since I didn't have time to, I just got those in today also, so I haven't had time to play with those. So we're going to play with that this week, and I will bring some samples back next week. And I'll probably post some samples in the meantime. Now tonight, we are going to focus on simple stamping, and we're using the New Horizons Designer Series paper. The colors, remember I've told you that the colors that coordinate are on the back, so Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So lots of color choices to go with in this paper. And so let's just take a look at this because it is just gorgeous. I love these papers. So very abstract, very kind of impressionistic, but gorgeous. They look like landscapes. They look, I mean, you can turn them and you just get different effects depending on which way you turn them. Oh, I love this one. That's beautiful. So there we go. So we're going to cut these papers down, and we're pretty much using the paper and some sentiments. Now I do have a few little silhouette type stamps that we're going to stamp over it a little bit, I think. But you really could totally just go with this paper by itself. So this was all created, hand painted by our design artists, concept design artists at Stampin' Up. And then they take high resolution pictures after they paint them, and it becomes our designer series paper. And so every now and then they will post videos for us showing how they do that process, and it was really fascinating. I'm an artist wannabe. I would love to be able to paint. I feel like I have some artistic abilities. I just don't have abilities to paint things like some people do, and I would love to be able to do that. Okay, so that's the paper we're going to use. This is 6x6 paper, and we're going to cut some of these pieces down to 3x3. Now I'm going to be sitting down for a little bit, and I may not be able to see your comments, so if I don't catch questions right off the bat, then I will go back through after the video is done, and I will answer your questions. So don't worry about that. I did want to show you on my paper trimmer. So we have two blades on the paper trimmer. One is a cutting blade, one is a scoring blade. And you know, every now and then I get in a hurry, shocking, and I will cut when I intend to score. And so I just took some red, inexpensive nail polish, some Sally Hansen Hard as Nails, Tough Love, and I painted that on my cutting blade. So you know, in nature, when you see animals that have red, that's a big warning sign. So I have the big red on my cutting blade so that I don't mess up. Now I'm going to pick a couple sheets here and see what we're going to do. Now when I'm laying these down, I am kind of thinking about the orientation because I want to make sure. Of course, if I cut it 3x3, it's going to all come out the same. It'll be fine. So it's going to be equal. But I want to pick the ones that kind of look like landscapes, or that lean a little bit more towards landscape. So I think I'm going to just start with these. Now I usually, when I'm cutting designer series paper, I'm in a hurry sometimes, and so I will typically cut 3 sheets at a time. And just line that up. So I always, let me scoot this down a little bit so you can see it. I always have my paper bumped up against this. You know, you could do this at the bottom edge either way, but I like to push from the bottom and go up just so that my paper doesn't move around too much. And so I'm cutting this 3x3. Now, if you wanted to, you could really kind of take a look at where your 3x3 was going to be. Now that worked out really well. And you could, but I don't like to waste my paper. So I'm going to take it however it falls. And so from one 6x6 piece of cards or designer series paper, you'll get 4 cards. And I'm going to pick just a couple more pieces, and that'll give us a good variety. I think that piece is on there. So I hope everybody's doing well. There's a lot of people getting ready to get some winter weather, so let me know. I'd like to hear what's going on in your area if you're getting ready to get some of this crazy winter weather that's coming. And see, 3 sheets cuts very easily. It's not, and you don't have to put a lot of pressure. One thing that I've learned is you don't really want to put a lot of pressure down on the blade. Just, you can go back and forth a few times, but you don't want to put a lot of pressure down that blade. My grid paper is sliding all over the place on me. Okay, now I do want to say, I don't want to take credit for something. This is not my original idea. I saw these cards on another demonstrator's page, and she is always so gracious to share so many things. It's Rachel Tessman, and I just thought I need some simple cards, and so I'm going to use this idea and share it with you guys. If you haven't seen her, you may have already seen these on her page if you follow her. So I'm going to go ahead and just prep my paper like I normally would so that you can see that. Now, I like to have my paper or my cards fold so they're long and then they fold over. The reason for that is that when the recipient gets the card, so this is the way it would be, it would open up this way, then they can stand it up and look at it a little bit easier. I just think it looks pretty when it stands up this way. So that's why I do it. So when I'm prepping my paper, I always go ahead and score my full sheet of cardstock first. So I'm going to score it. I'm going to pull my big red blade down out of the way so I know I'm not getting that. So I score at 5.5, and then I turn and I cut at 4.25, and that's going to give me 2 card bases. And I'm going to do that just a couple more times so we can make a few cards while we're here, because you're going to see how quick and easy these are to make. And we should get a bunch of them, or several anyway, cranked out while we're here. So again, if you're just joining in, let me know where you're joining from. And if you have any, I would love to get some suggestions. If there are some techniques that you would like to see me demonstrate in future Facebook Lives, please leave those comments, because sometimes I get stuck and I'm like, wow, what am I going to do next? And so I would love to do the things that you want to do. If you are itching to learn a new technique and you would like me to show that, I would be happy to do that. All right, I think this gets us. So now I've got, I think, 8 card bases. I wasn't counting, I was just talking and I just kept on cutting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. Looks like we've got 8, so I'll kind of stack these up here together. So you see how fast that went. And I do recommend sometimes, like, it's a good idea to just spend a day prepping some card bases. And that way, whenever you're going to make your cards later on, you've got that part of it done. You can just get to the fun part of making your cards. So now our designer series paper is 3x3. And so we're going to cut a little piece of layer for it. And it's going to be a tight fit because I just want a little bit of the black to show. So I'm going to do 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So that's going to be, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit on this. So the 1/8, and if you always have trouble, I always start with a half, and then I'm like a quarter. Okay, then I'm like, okay, there's the 1/8 right there. So we've got 1/16 and then an 1/8. So it's going to be that piece right there. And if you're like me, it took me a little while to get all of these measurements going, but by golly, once you do it for a while, you can really crank out the fractions. All right, so 3 1/8. And then I'll save this piece for something later that would be perfect to, make sure I'm getting on the right one, to do some heat embossing with white or gold or silver on those little scraps of black. So out of one piece of black 8.5 by 11 cardstock, I was able to get 6 of these pieces. Here's the, yep, I did a pretty good job cutting those straight. And then I still have this strip extra, and then I have this strip extra. And so I don't throw anything away. I have a drawer over here behind me that has all of my, I have a drawer for each color family. So I have a brights, a regals, neutrals, and subtles drawer. And then I have a whisper white drawer as well. And so I just toss the scrap pieces into those drawers so that I've rearranged, trying to do a little bit of cleaning, and so my tools are not all exactly where they usually are. So I'm just going to go through on these card bases and burnish these folds so that they lay really good and flat. And then we're going to be using our Memento ink when we start stamping. So we've got 6 of those, and so we'll get 6 cards made in this, and you'll see how fast these 6 cards go, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so we don't need those 2. All right, so we've got our 6 card bases. We have our 6 layers, and then we've got a whole bunch, a little stack here of our designer series paper. I've got my Memento ink close by, and I have got one stamp, so I'm going to grab another one for sentiments, I hope. So we're going to grab this one. I think that'll be good. I like the way these go. So there's happy birthday, every bit of, there's a few of these on here that I think will be good. And then also I'm going to use this one because this is kind of silhouette stamps, and so we're going to do a little bit of stamping on the paper, but not a whole lot actually. So let's put those out of the way and put those out of the way. Get our Memento going. And so one good thing about having so many pieces is you can kind of play with this and see what it's going to look like. So I may play with these and may not like them. So the good thing is I've got lots of paper to play with. Now I want to show you a really great trick that I just saw. I've actually seen a couple people do it now. So here are our red rubber stamps, and as you know, we have to put, we don't have to, but we have the labels that are separate. And so sometimes getting these labels onto this red rubber can be a little tricky. And so I saw a demonstrator do this the other day, and I was just absolutely, I don't know, gobsmacked when I saw her do it, because I thought that's the best idea ever. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, I'm going to do that butterfly because that's for sure going to stamp with that butterfly. We're just going to pull the whole label off. The backing is still on there. And we're going to put that down onto our clear acrylic block. And then we're going to wrestle this sticker or this paper. There we go. And you know, take your pick tool. Probably would be a good option for this too, to help kind of get it going. And I have this tape on my take your pick tool because I always leave the pointy end on this one. I have 2 take your pick tools, so I have one that always is there, and this tape tells me that this is the one with the sharp edge on it. Okay, are you ready for this? So now I've got my stamp, and I'm going to peel the backing off that, and I'm going to lay my stamp down here, and then I'm going to come in, whoops, I'm going to flip this over the right way. Oh my goodness. And I'm going to come down with this clear block. It is easy to see, and hopefully perfectly line up that stamp on your block. Pretty good. Now, one thing that I also do, because if you've used these, you know that this new backing is super sticky. And so I still have an old embossing buddy. We used to sell these, but you could do anything. You could just get some of your like powder from your compact or something, or some eyeshadow, just something that will take the sticky off. And I usually just find one corner. I don't do the whole thing, but I will just tap this over one corner. So you see it kind of gets some little powder out. And I do that to take the sticky off of one spot, so that when I put my stamp down, I have one little place that doesn't stick, and it makes it easy to pull this off. When this whole thing is super sticky and all the way on the block, you have to kind of peel up, and you can damage the foam when you do that. And so just having one piece that's not sticky and that will pull up really easily makes it so much easier. So I hope that helps you. I will show you the little block mounting trick in just a second. I'll show you another one. And so I'm going to try to find a piece that I think this little butterfly will look good on. I think maybe that one. And I'm probably just going to do it just off of the edge. I can't really. So I haven't tried this out ahead of time. May not be the best idea, but I do like to I have this kind of idea of stamping these little silhouettes just to give it a little bit more detail, and not a whole lot. So I'm just kind of coming around the edge, and just gives it a little something extra. So I'm going to hold that to the side, and let's see if there's another one that I like. I think I'm going to try this one. And I'm also do it with this. I think this fern would be really pretty. And so I need a little bit bigger block to put this one on. So we're going to put that sticker on again. So if you missed the sticker trick, here we're going to do it again. So we're going to peel the whole thing off of here. We're going to lay it onto our block. And then we're going to take this sticker off. This is the hardest part of it, actually, is getting that piece of paper off right there. Okay, so now we're going to lay our stamp down the correct way. We're going to turn over, and then with the clear block, you can see right exactly where you're going, and put that sticker on. And so you can see what I mean by how sticky it is. So I tend to try and do the same kind of place. So if there's a long stem or something skinny, I will usually just come through there and do that. All right. So let's see. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I like this one. That was pretty. And just do it at some different heights and angles. So there we go. Now, the good thing about this paper is you don't have to do anything to it. So I'm just going to leave those two, and I'm not going to stamp any of the others because I want to show you how pretty these cards will be on their own. So we need some adhesive and dimensionals. And so just to show you, I remember I told you this is a tight fit. But it's just enough to make that really stand out. So I'm gonna get my silicone mat down too, because I'm terrible about getting adhesive everywhere. And so when I'm making several cards at a time, I try to do the same step over and over. And that just makes everything go faster. There we go. And then it's just a matter of just kind of coming through here and picking some patterns that I like. Let's see, I saw one just, oh, here we go. This one's beautiful. So I hope this idea is helping you to see that it can be just very simple. Now you could take this and step this up as much as you wanted to. You could add ribbon. You could add, obviously you can add bling because, you know, you can always add bling, right? At least in my world, you can always add bling. You could add other layers. You could make this just a part of a bigger, nope, okay. Toss that one. I didn't get it on there straight. Dang it. Let's do this one. That's a good thing about this. We got lots of extras. So, all right. Try. That's one thing I do notice whenever I'm doing a tighter layer, that it does make it a little bit more difficult to get that straight. Now, if you use our Stampin' Seal, and if you ever have problems getting it going, every now and then I do, that's one of the reasons I have the silicone mat out here with me, because, and I will show you, let's see, oh, this is a pretty one. Did I do all 6 of them? Oh yeah, wait a minute, you know what? We're gonna use the other side of this. So when you're doing this, if you start touching over here on the silicone mat and then pull, your adhesive is going to work every time. And another thing that I've noticed with the Stampin' Seal is a much lighter hand is required. For whatever reason, when we had our snail before, you had to press down a little bit harder. And so with the seal, you can press lighter and it works. There we go. So now we've got our 6 accent pieces. And then I'm going to go through and put Stampin' Dimensionals on all of these. I'm not going to take the back off yet. And so, like I said, whenever you're making a bunch of cards, you want to be efficient. So if you make one whole card and then you go and make another whole card, then it does take longer that way. Some people like it, and that's totally good. If that's the way you like to make your cards, please continue to do that. If you are looking for a way to get lots of cards made so that you can share them, then this is a good way to do that as well. All right. My cat was walking upstairs today and she had one of these stuck in a very funny place. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta make sure I'm doing okay, this side. So she had the dimensional backings stuck on her. She had come down here this morning while I was teaching and she was rolling all over the floor, and dimensional backs are all over the floor in my craft room. And so she ended up collecting several of them. So that's pretty funny. All right, so now we've got our card base, and we're going to start putting these together. And I'm not going to stamp the sentiments until after I get these on here, because I may just have to see where I want to put the sentiments. Okay, so we're going to just put this right about here. Now, depending on where you decide to put the sentiment, you could put the focal piece down a little bit and stamp your sentiment on top, or like this one I've got here, I'll have the sentiment stamped down here. And I think that's probably the way that I'm going to do all of these. So I like to kind of figure that out ahead of time. So here is this one. All right, so let me know what you think about these so far. Hit those thumbs up and the hearts and all that. And I say that because that That's how Facebook makes your videos show up a little bit more often, is the more interaction that happens during the video, the more they will share it out to others who like these kind of things. So feel free to do that, or not. Now don't forget, while I'm putting these together, it is Celebration right now. And so with every $50 that you purchase, you're going to get a free Celebration item. And oh, y'all, I still have I think I have COVID brain fog. I read about that the other day and I was like, yep, I think I have that. I had COVID a couple weeks ago, and luckily I didn't have it as bad as some others, but whew, my brain has not been working. But anyway, Celebration, that's where I was going with that, Celebration. And my friend Brenda Sellers and I, she is a demonstrator also, we are hosting a celebration, and so all of our customers who any time during the celebration time place orders of at least that means $150 means $150, could be $25 here, could be $100 there. You don't have to spend $150 at one time. But so total, $150 total at least during Celebration. Then you will get an invitation to our celebration. And it's going to be an over the rainbow theme. And so we have got lots of goodies that are going to be rainbow themed. And we're going to stamp, we're going to play bingo. We're going to have a lot of fun. And so we would love for you to be a part of that. If you are not in the area, you can still be involved with that. You'll get a goodie bag and you can participate virtually. Okay, so now that I've got all my cards done, so you see how fast that was. I mean, I've got 6 cards going here. And now all I have to do is come in and stamp my sentiment. And I think my memento is getting a little, seems just a tad bit dry. So I'm going to add just a little bit of ink real quick. Just to make sure. Since I'm getting ready to stamp right after this, I'm not going to load it down like I normally would. I just want to freshen it up a little bit, and then later on I'll come in and add some more ink and let it sit overnight so it can really just kind of settle in there. But I think that's a little bit more clear. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm just gonna kind of do this over here to the side. So look how simple that is. Very easy. Now I'm going to kind of just grab a few different sentiments here. And I'm not going to put the stickers on all of them, so don't fret. Although that does make me sweat just a little bit when I'm trying to line them up. But we'll see. We're going to roll the dice. I like to walk on the wild side. So, and that's one thing I love about this grid paper, is I usually practice right on my grid paper. Sweet, that worked. Look how beautiful that is. So simple. And so I'm gonna do a couple with this. I really like, now this sentiment, I should show you that, is from the Positive Thoughts. And this is in our annual catalog. Our poor annual catalog gets neglected sometimes with all of these specials that go with Celebration and the mini catalog that comes out, and then other specials. Our little annual catalog gets ignored. So I wanted to pull out a set from the annual catalog. Plus I just like it. It's pretty. And let's see, pull this butterfly off. Now sometimes when I'm doing sentiments too, I like to do them and have them kind of crooked or cockeyed, I don't know what you use, diagonally on the block, because it makes me focus a little bit more. Instead of on the block per se, like I'm not focusing on this line being straight, I'm making sure that my stamp is straight. Let me practice that one. There we go. So you see how fast these are going. Let's see. I need a congratulations, but I don't see one in here. So I may have to, oh, wait a minute. Let's look at this. So this is Calming Camellia. Now this stamp set is beautiful, and I'll be honest, I didn't really care for it when I first saw it, but I have seen some beautiful cards with it, and I'm going to try to learn the technique that the girl used. She did Stampin' blends. She used some white colored pencil first, and so it just made this stand out. It was gorgeous. And so I'm going to try to learn to do that technique and then hopefully share that with you. But I did like the sentiment here that says "You make me smile," so that'll be my last one. And I just put my ink away. Okay, let's cross our fingers. There we go. All right, so now we have 6 cards done pretty quickly, and I could have easily made loads more. Now I just can't stand it, so I am going to have to add some stuff to this, but I'm going to add these. These are the iridescent rhinestones, and they are really just a beautiful, subtle sparkle. And so I'm just going to come and just kind of randomly put these in here just to add a little something. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope this has helped you see that you can just kind of keep things very simple but still create beautiful cards. And the good thing about doing a card with a white card base is that you don't have to put anything on the inside. Now for the inside of these cards, I'm just going to kind of throw some in there. What I probably will do, well, I don't know what I'll do because I cut these to 3. Well, I have some extra. Anyway, you could just come and cut a little strip of Designer Series paper and line it either this way, or you could do it this way. Or since I used, like on this one, I used the silhouette stamp, I could come in and just stamp this silhouette stamp on the inside. So however you want to do it. You also don't have to do anything. There's no rule that says you have to decorate the inside of the card. Everybody just loves to. So, all right, I'm gonna leave those. And I'm sure I'll go back and add some. I think I want to change up some of my bling. So here are our 6 cards. And I just love them. I think they are gorgeous. So there we go. So that is, again, that is the New Horizons Designer Series paper. Let me show you where that is in the mini. Well, the January to June catalog. I always call it the mini. But it's the January to June. And no, I just had it out there a minute ago. Oh, here it is. Now there is a beautiful stamp set that goes with it, and I thought I had ordered it, but I didn't. And so here is the stamp set, and so you can see, let me get a bigger picture of it. Nope, it's not there. So you can see how stamping these little designs in black just add just such a little bit, but make those look just beautiful. Look how this one just looks like, and then they may have torn the paper and layered that some, but that is just gorgeous. I love these. So this is the suite. It does come with this this ribbon combo pack, and oh, let me see. I do have that. I haven't opened it yet. So it's Petal Pink and Misty Moonlight, which of course are colors that are found, a lot of these are found in the paper. And they're these cute little pebble, Becky, this is on page 43 in the January to June catalog, right here. And so this whole suite, so when you order the suites, when you look at here, on this page it says the New Horizons Suite, then there's a suite collection, there's one number, 157782, and it's $78.25. And so in this suite, you get everything that's pictured on this page. So you get the stamp set, you get the dies, you get the pack of ribbon, you get the little pebble. See if you can see those. They look like just little pebbles. They're so cute. And then you get this designer series paper all together in the suite. So that is $78.25. That also qualifies you for a free celebration item. And I was telling you about this Calming Camellia stamp set. This Calming Camellia stamp set is a host-only celebration set. So to qualify to get this set for free, you would have to have either your own order that's at least $300, or you could get some friends together and you could have a catalog party, we used to call them. But just collect some orders from friends that equal at least $300, and then you would qualify to get this Calming Camellia host set for free. I was looking to see if I could find those little pebbles, but I don't want to take up your time. Like I said, I've been trying to clean and reorganize. I've got some things I need to do in here and get reorganized, so things are not exactly where they normally are. But so that's our projects for tonight. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you will make some simple cards and send them out. I've got a stack of mail ready to go out. That's why I was looking for that congratulations word, because I've got to send a congratulations card out. But I hope you will make some cards and get them sent out and let me know. I would love for you to post pictures in the comments on this thread if you make any of these cards. Tag me if you post them on your own page. Feel free to tag me. I would love to see those. And I will also host, I have a new host code for February. And so when you order at least $50 during February, you will get a pack of these iridescent rhinestones. So you will get a whole pack of them. So that's kind of an ordering special I'm doing for this month. I had a goal last month I was trying to hit. I didn't quite hit that goal last month, but that's okay because I can hit it this month. And so I'm trying to give you a little incentive to help me hit that goal. So when you order at least $50 during February, you will get a pack of those beautiful iridescent rhinestones. So look for that host code coming up in just a minute after the video posts. And I hope you all have a great night. Thanks so much for watching. And please let me know how you like these projects. And I will see you next week, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Thanks.